welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Now, if you like ramen, you're gonna love this video. And if you don't like ramen, why are you even watching this video? Did you know that this cheap little pack of noodles doesn't have to be boring? It can actually be a secret weapon in your kitchen. So come on, go with me. And I'm going to show you 3 creative ways to turn this cheap pack of noodles into something amazing. I'm going to start this recipe out by putting a pan on my stove eye, and I'm going to add in some olive oil, 2 to 3 tablespoons. I've turned that on a medium heat, and I'm waiting for my oil to heat up. Now, while your oil is heating up, you want to slice some onion. I've already sliced mine. Just slice it however you want to slice it. But you're going to add it to this oil. What we're doing here is we're going to caramelize these onions. You want to cook them till they're soft. This already smells delicious, and I just got started. We'll check in on these in a few minutes. I am going to add a little bit of salt to my onions. Caramelizing your onions is probably going to be the longest process of this recipe. If you prefer just to have them sauteed and not caramelized, then it won't take you quite as long. I do want mine caramelized, so it's probably going to take around 20 minutes. Now, in the meantime, you're going to need probably 3 or 4 slices of bacon, so you can cook your bacon up. Cook it and let it drain on paper towels. I'm not going to use cooked bacon in that I'm not going to cook it. I have these bacon bits, so this is what I'm going to use. I'm improvising. If I was to cook bacon and crumble it up, yes, it would probably be better, but that's okay. I have these that I need to use up, so this is how I'm going to do mine. You want to put a pot of water on the stove to cook your ramen in. Cook it according to the package directions, except we're not going to be using this, so toss this aside. Use any flavor ramen that you want. This is what I'm using. I broke it up into larger chunks. My water is starting to boil, so I'm just going to dump it in. I'm going to let my ramen cook about 2 minutes because I prefer it more on the al dente side. But you cook yours how you want to cook it. In the meantime, while my ramen's cooking, I'm going to take these onions and I'm going to put them in this bowl because I need this pan for the rest of the recipe. Those look delicious. Now, in the same pan back here that I cooked my onions in, I'm going to be putting 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter. You want that butter to melt down. To this butter, I'm going to be adding some minced garlic. Now, if you have fresh garlic and you mince it yourself, that is great. Just add in however much you want. You're just going to stir that garlic around in that butter and just let it start browning up a little bit. My ramen is done, so I'm going to take it off the heat. I want to reserve some of my pasta water, and I want about 5 tablespoons. I think that'll be enough. Now I'm going to drain this ramen. My garlic is ready, so I'm going to be adding in 1 tablespoon of white miso. Now, I've never used this before, and I didn't want to go searching Walmart or grocery stores in my area to see if they even carried it. So I ordered this off of Amazon. And we're going to use 1 tablespoon of this. We're also going to add in 3 tablespoons of our pasta water. Get that all mixed together. Don't be scared to try something new. This white miso is nothing but rice, soybean, and salt. So, nothing to be scared of. Just an ingredient that I've never used. And there's a first time for everything. So we're actually making a miso ramen with bacon and caramelized onions. I think it's going to be delicious. The good thing about this is a pouch of the white miso, 7 ounces, and I didn't need that much, but that's okay. You can keep this in the refrigerator for up to about, I think, 3 months, but you can also freeze this. So that's what I plan on doing with mine, is freezing it. I have this on a low heat. Once you get all that combined, you want to take your ramen, put it in your skillet, and get all that mixed together and incorporated. Some of my viewers have given me some really good tips, and one of those is to use tongs or chopsticks. I don't have chopsticks. I found out a long time ago that I can't eat with chopsticks. I'm not skilled enough for that. So the tongs seem to work pretty good though. So now you want to add in your bacon, or in my case, bacon bits. I'm just going to pour what I have left over in there. I'm also going to add in my caramelized onions. You also want to take 1 to 2 green onions and chop them up, and you're going to add those in. Now you want to get all that combined together, and you're just going to let those green onions cook till they're soft, just a minute or two. It doesn't take them long at all. I am going to add in the rest of my pasta water. This smells absolutely delicious. I wish you could smell it. Okay. I think we're ready to get this dished up. This next step is optional. You can sprinkle it with some grated Parmesan cheese. This is all I have. I don't have any fresh Parmesan, so this is what I'm going to be using. I call it shaky cheese. So we're just going to add a little shaky cheese to the top. Miso ramen with bacon and caramelized onions. Let's try it out. Okay, y'all. I have my miso ramen with bacon and caramelized onions. So we're going to give it a taste. It looks and smells delicious. This is something new for me. I've never eaten miso, but I'm willing to try anything once. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Oh yeah. You got to try this. I know miso isn't something that most people have in their pantries. I know I didn't. I'd heard of it before but never tried it, and I wanted to. And that's why I made this one, because it's something I wanted to try. I don't want to just make something though and not taste it for y'all, because especially when it's something I've never tried. This is delicious. So if you've never tried miso, give it a try. I don't think you'll regret it. It's really tasty. I'm gonna go eat. For this recipe, you're going to need some bacon. Now mine is still partially frozen, and that's okay. I'm just going to get it opened up. I have a pan here. I'm going to be cooking mine in the oven. You can cook your bacon however you prefer to cook your bacon. Mine's going in the oven on this rack. I'm going to cook it on 350 for however long it takes it to get nice and crispy. Now, if you don't want to use regular bacon, don't use regular bacon. You can use turkey bacon if you like. If you want to leave the bacon out completely out of this recipe, then you can leave the bacon off. Doesn't really matter. You make it how you want to eat it. I think so many times emphasis is put on what you're using and how you're using it, and people think that you have to do a recipe a certain way, when in reality you really don't. You can make it your own. Let's get the rest of this bacon put on. Okay, I've got 6 slices on here. This is more than what I need for this recipe, but I am going to be using some of this bacon for something else later. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cooked up. There were 4 slices, I think, left. I have stuck that in the fridge, and I'll use it at a later time. Now, I've listed other bacon that you can use, like turkey bacon or no bacon, but you could use bacon bits also. That is what I would be using if I had some, but I don't. So let's pop this in a 350-degree oven for however long it takes for it to get crispy. Now you're going to want to brown up about 1/4 pound of ground beef. I have some in this bowl that was in my refrigerator that I had previously browned up for some other recipes. So I just browned a whole pound at one time, and I am using what I need out of it for the recipes that I'm making. So I'm just going to take some of this ground beef. I'm not going to measure it. I'm just going to take what I think I need. Okay, I think that'll be enough. I'm going to get this heated through. While you're browning your beef, you want to get you a pot of water put on the stove. You're going to cook some ramen according to the package directions, except we're not going to use this. So toss that to the side. You're going to bring your water to a boil, and you're going to add your ramen in. Now in the meantime, while you're browning your ground beef and you're getting your ramen started, you can mix this in a bowl if you want to, but I'm just going to mix it up in this little measuring cup. But you need 1/2 cup of beef broth. Just any kind of beef broth. If you don't have any beef broth, you can use a bouillon cube if you want to. I mean, you can use that seasoning packet if that's what you want to use. It's just I'm choosing not to. So I'm just going to measure out 1/2 cup. To my beef broth, I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. A tablespoon of ketchup. And about 1/2 tablespoon of cornstarch. Now I'm just going to boil mine for about 2 minutes because I want them more al dente. Now I'm just going to use a little beater whisk, and I'm just going to get this mixed up. Now you use whatever you want to use to mix yours, because it don't really matter as long as you get it mixed up. And now my recipe does not call for this, but I'm going to add in just a little bit of mustard. This is optional. That should be enough. Let me get that mixed up in there too. I think my ramen's ready. Now I'm going to reserve just a little bit of this, but I'm going to drain the rest. Let's go. Now I think my ground beef is pretty much heated through back here. So we're going to take this little concoction right here, and we're going to pour it in this skillet. Now if you have browned your ground beef from raw, then you're going to need to probably drain it before you add this in. And you're just going to get that stirred around in there. That's going to start thickening up some. Now I've decided not to drain my ramen. Instead, I'm just going to use these tongs, and I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to put it over in here. I am going to turn my heat down just a little bit to more of a low. Now this is going to add some of the pasta water in because I'm not draining it. I'll just judge whether I need to add any pasta water in or not. Now that my ramen's in, I'm just going to kind of stir that around. Now, the recipe doesn't call for this, but in Jana fashion, I'm going to do what I kind of want to do anyway. So, I'm going to take some dill relish. I'm just going to get it out with a fork so that some of the juice drains off. Now, I'm just going to toss some of that over in here. I'm going to do about 3 dollops. And I'm going to get that stirred up in there. I am going to add in just a little bit of my ramen water. Now if you don't want to add in your pasta water, then you can always add in a little more beef broth. Or just a little bit of water if that's what you want to do, if you want to thin it out some. We're just going to let this continue to simmer. My bacon is almost ready. The ideal way to do it would be to have your bacon ready to go. Mine wasn't because it was frozen, so I'm still waiting on that. It'll be a couple more minutes. My bacon is out of the oven. Nice, hot, and crispy. I'm going to let it cool enough that I can handle it. I'm going to get 2 or 3 slices of this crumbled up, and we're going to add it into our ramen. I'm going to start with 2 slices of bacon, and I'm going to get that crumbled up in here, just broke up in pieces. Doesn't matter what size, you do it however you want to do it. Now I'm going to get that stirred around in there. We'll see if 2 slices is going to be enough. I am going to use a 3rd slice of bacon. Again, just crumble it up in there and get it stirred in. This is looking really, really good. This is looking delicious. It smells so good in here. But we're not finished. Now this cannot be bacon cheeseburger ramen without some cheese. So use cheddar cheese, American cheese, whatever cheese you like. This is what I have. This is what's going in here. Just put however much you want on it. The recipe does also call for about half the amount of mozzarella that you put cheddar cheese on. So I don't have mozzarella, but this has mozzarella in it. It's an Italian blend. So I'm going to sprinkle some of that on there as well. Now you want to pop a lid on this and just leave it on a low to medium. And just let that cheese get all nice and melty. See you in a few. Now we're going to go ahead and call this done. Going to take that off the heat. This looks delicious. Let me get some plated up. Now I'm just going to kind of split this down the middle because this is definitely more than 1 serving. This is enough for at least 2 servings. So I'm going to get this just put off in this bowl. Doesn't this look delicious? This is a bacon cheeseburger ramen. Now we're going to kick it up just another notch. I'll show you what I'm going to do. With just 1 simple ingredient, we're going to change the flavor just a little bit. I'm going to add some ranch dressing to the top of this. So if you have cheddar cheese on here, you're going to make it a bacon cheddar ranch ramen. I'm going to drizzle just a little, just like that. Now let's give this a taste. Okay, y'all. This looks and smells delicious. So let's find out if it is. It's still pretty hot. I want to make sure I get some of the ranch on there also. Now, if you don't like pickles, leave them out. I had browned my hamburger meat with some onion. If you don't like onion, don't put it in. You brown your hamburger however you like to brown it. You could use ground turkey if you'd like to do that, or ground chicken. I don't like ground turkey. I do like ground chicken, but for something like this, I do prefer beef. So you do you. Make yours how you want to make it. Let's give it a taste. Oh yeah, that's good. That's really good. Go make your ramen however you want to make your ramen. The possibilities are endless with ramen. You can change them up, flavor them however you want to, add whatever you want to it. Sky's the limit. I'm gonna go eat. Let's get this recipe started. You want to take a pan. Into that pan, you want to add a half a tablespoon of butter and a half a tablespoon of olive oil. I already have those in my pan. I'm going to turn this pan on a medium heat. We're going to let that butter start melting down. While that butter's melting, you want to take you some onion. Now you use however much you want to, and you cut it however you want to. I already have mine cut. As soon as this butter gets melted down, we're going to add this to this pan. Now you also want to get you some pre-cooked chicken ready to go in this pan as well. I'm going to be using this grilled, fully cooked chicken breast strips. I'm going to use about half of this package. You can use rotisserie chicken. You can use canned chicken. You can cook your chicken beforehand, you know, if that's what you want to do. Just make sure that your chicken is cooked when it goes in this pan. You also want to get you a pot of water put on the stove so you can cook your ramen noodles. Now I'm going to be tossing this flavor packet to the side, but you are going to need a 1/4 cup of chicken broth. So if you want to use that flavor packet, you go right ahead and use that. I'm not going to. I'm going to be using a 1/4 cup of water with a 1/4 cup of this chicken bouillon mixed into my water. My oil and butter are hot, so I'm going to add my onion in. I'm also going to go ahead and add in about half this package of chicken. Now you're just going to cook this chicken with these onions until the onions are soft and the chicken is heated through. I'm going to add some garlic powder to my chicken and onions. Now it says to use about 1/4 teaspoon. Use however much you like. I'm cooking mine for 2 minutes. My chicken and onions are finished, so I'm going to take them and I'm going to transfer them to this bowl so that we can get our sauce ready. Okay, to your pan you want to add a 1/4 cup of chicken broth. Two to 3 ounces of cream cheese. Just stir that around and get it all mixed up together. Get that cream cheese melted down. You're going to add some Italian seasoning to this mixture. A little bit of crushed red pepper flakes. Now if you don't like that or you don't like spicy, don't add that in. And some black pepper. My ramen is cooked, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to drain it. I am going to reserve just a little bit of the ramen liquid so we can put it in our sauce. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of my ramen liquid into the skillet with this sauce. I put about 1/8 of a cup in there. Now I'm going to add my chicken and my onions in. Let's get that chicken all mixed up in the sauce. Now I'm going to add my ramen in. I'm going to add in the rest of my ramen water. And there you have an easy cream cheese chicken ramen. Let me get this dished up. I'm going to add some parsley flakes. You have an easy, quick, delicious lunch or dinner. You can pair this with a salad. That would be absolutely delicious. So let's give this a taste. Okay, y'all. Here we have our easy cream cheese chicken ramen. It smells delicious. We're going to give it a taste. You got your onion, your chicken, red pepper with your Italian seasoning, garlic powder, ramen. Don't forget the ramen. Okay, let's give it a taste. That's delicious. Oh, that's really good. Got a little bit of a kick. You could add some hot sauce to this or some sriracha just to kind of kick it up another notch. Either way, delicious. I'm gonna go eat. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Who knew that ramen could have a glow up? Let me know down in the comments which one you're gonna try first. And hey, if you're still eating plain ramen, we need to talk. Seriously, hit that subscribe button so I can save you from any more boring meals. Make sure to share this video, leave me a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm telling you, this is where you want to be. Okay, y'all, I'll see you in the next one.